It's working. Okay, good. We're reconvening to open session at 5:30. No reportable action was taken in closed session. Do I have a motion for action on student discipline case number 45?
I'll make the motion to approve discipline case number 45 as recommended.
Okay. Call for a vote.
I'm an aye, Mrs. Roebuck.
Okay. Do I need to call for a vote? Yes. Okay. Call for the vote. I'm an aye too, Ms. Robar. Okay, motion passes 3-0. Let's stand for the pledge. Is there a motion for the approval of the agenda?
So moved.
Is there a second? Call for the vote, please.
I'm an aye, Mrs. Roebuck.
I'm an aye too.
Thank you.
Okay, motion passes 3-0.
Gabrielle, can you make it a little bit bigger? Thank you.
Okay. And moving on to recognition, Superintendent Peterson.
Okay, tonight we have Mr. Schwartwood with us and Mrs. Cope with us to share some student recognitions. Mrs. Cope, we're going to ask you to go first because you have one student.
All right, good evening, board and cabinet. Tonight I would like to introduce a 2024 graduate, Clarissa Salas, who would, last year she took second place in the Congressional Art Competition, and her piece was selected to hang in the office of, who was it? Duarte. And then this year she placed first, and now her art piece will be hanging in the tunnel between the Capitol building and, I wasn't a history major, wherever else I go, somebody knows. Anyway, so this is a huge honor for her. She's an incredibly talented artist, and I want for her to share a little bit about her piece of work. She already had to send it off, so it's in transit right now to the tunnel, but I wanted to give her an opportunity to tell you what she did for the art piece.
So, the art piece was of a local panaderia off of 18th Street, and the reason why I chose to do that and submit it was because I thought that the colors would look very nice. It was also part of my AP portfolio, so it kind of had to do with that as well. And my art teacher at LCAP, she said that I should submit it because it was a good representation of our area and the District 13 that we live in. So I submitted it, and it went.
Congratulations. Do you have a picture of it on your phone?
I should, yeah.
Would you mind just passing your phone around or showing us? We have it here.
One more thing about her on her AP test.
Just pass your computer down.
You got a perfect score. So last year, Clarissa obtained a perfect score on her AP art test. Wow. So that's quite incredible. So she's fantastic. So I just want to make sure I mention that as well. One other thing before I step down. Our boys golf team had the highest GPA in the state. So not just in our section, but actually in the state. So for our sports team, so that's very exciting as well.
All right, thank you.
I actually have a question for Clarissa, if I could. May I ask a question? I've seen your artwork hanging at El Cap, and so what will you be doing after high school? You've graduated, didn't you? Yes. Congratulations.
Outstanding.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Swartwood, you're up.
All right, good evening, everyone. Kevin Swartwood, the semi-principal at Golden Valley High School. I would like to introduce to you, I only have one point at a time. These three coaches are seeing continued and consistent success year after year, which is hard to say. So they're program leaders. They're not just following by accident. Okay, so we're going to start with our softball kids section champion, boys wrestling team, and Mr. Ryan coming up and talk a little bit about the program, and these kids coming up, and
Yep.
Mr. Pearson will take care of the rest. So.
One of was brought here, and I had to follow our soccer team when they produced that blue banner, and it was hard when we were talking about our 4 league titles in a row. And this year, we have a blue banner to go along with that, so it's really exciting for our program. I would first like to say it's an honor to work for this district for 28 years at a board that supports what we do as a coach. So thank you, board members. We couldn't do it without that. We won 4 league titles in a row, and we had a 23-year winning streak against Merced on the line, and they snapped it on a Tuesday night in January. And it was right before you heard what's called 10 rules for wrestling. So we adjusted our lineup a little bit, and the following Saturday at the 10 rules, we're still in the finals again, and we're not outside, and we're beating ourselves, and we're in a blue banner, which is, it's a huge idea. It was one of my bucket list items as a coach to come away with a team blue banner. It's my third blue banner at Golden Valley, and the hard work that goes behind this, there's no missing practice right now, just so you know. And those things are really smart. So, it doesn't just happen. We work all around the job, and it's a tribute to most of them are underclassmen. We're half of seniors, so we expect to come back next year too. One other thing I would like to say is our girls team is here, but our girls team also won assistant title this year for the first time ever, and also we're runner-ups for a blue banner in the wovens, and also we're academic section champions. So our girls program is coming around too, and we're very proud of our coaches in our program. So I appreciate it again. Thank you, Mr. Swartwood. So I'll just introduce you to the ones that are here and then be on our way. But I do appreciate everything that you guys do, and we'll continue doing as long as we can with your support. Aaron Anzaldo. Aaron. Why don't you guys follow Mr. Namath's on the way out. Aaron Alvarez. Abraham Rosa Flores. Chufa O'Hare. Aiden Hughes. Isaac LeBlanc. Isaac Molina. Jacob Partida. And Edwin Lawrence Bustos. That's it. Thank you, everybody.
Congratulations.
Get to practice. This is super nice day. Just tear off, and success just comes his way because he's that kind of guy. Coach, maybe we'll talk about our back-to-back South County Section Champions soccer team. Yeah, so this year it's hard for me to follow Coach Mello because he did a great job with this program. Again, I thank the district. I always thank Mr. Swartwood as well because I'm an off-campus coach. So I work at the City of Merced Police Department, and I have some flexibility with my schedule to go out there and coach. And this was my 15th year out there, and I haven't got fired yet, so I'm glad. So I'm doing something right, I think. I only have one player here with me tonight, but last year our team was just short. We only had 6 seniors last year. We had a lot of juniors and sophomores. And so when this year came, all those players were still here, and they wanted to win one for themselves. They helped the seniors win last year, and they wanted to win one for themselves. And they did everything that they possibly needed to do that. We had more wins this year. We scored way more goals this year. We gave up a lot less goals than we did last year. And, I mean, we were just... I say we, but it's really them. They blew through all those big Sacramento schools during the playoffs, and it was phenomenal to watch. And again, I thank you guys for the support. I thank Kevin for all the support at the local school. And we don't practice year round. For me, for soccer players, most of my soccer players play travel soccer when it's not soccer season. So most of them are at practice probably tonight, and like I said, I had 12 seniors, and once they're done with high school, I don't think they want to come sit in a meeting. So.
I don't blame you.
Because one of them said, are we getting another piece of paper? And I said, yes, you are. So I can introduce one player, and it's kind of fitting because I've been there, this was my 11th year as the head coach, and I had never picked a freshman to play on varsity until 4 years ago. And Manuel was my first freshman, and he was a starter all 4 years, and he was goalie of the year last year in CCC, and he's the one that showed up for me tonight. So come on up, man. It's probably the last one for Zarko. No? I guess wrong.
They were in the order that Mr. Swartwood sent on the
How about
list.
this?
So
I'll let you find it.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Oh, it's probably seniors first. I get it. We'll find it, Manuel.
Yeah.
Okay. And again, Kevin, thanks for the support. Thanks for letting us come up here and talk about our program, and thanks for all the time and attention. I appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Sure.
Yes.
be careful of the courts. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for being here.
Congratulations.
All right, so I have one more thing to talk about tonight. Adam Hyatt has been an academic decathlon coach now. For sure, so we'll be ready for him to take over. But this year, they were the county champs, but they were in Santa Clara, and when I was able to attend, they were in Santa Clara and won the California State Academic Decathlon. So, Adam Hyatt.
All right.
Good evening. I wanted to bring these guys up here with me because they made me so proud this year, and I think they have the potential to do it again next year. They're already working hard. I just want to the hard work that they did. They went to state after winning the county competition, and at state they won Division III. We also beat about half the teams in Division II, which was amazing. It was a huge thrill, and we got there because they did so much hard work. So I just want to say I'm just so proud of these guys, and I want to thank the district for supporting academic decathlon, and especially Mr. Swartwood. Part of why we're successful is because the last 9 years we've had really, really strong support from him. He's made this program really important to our school. So thank you.
Adam, talk a little bit about your preparation.
So our state competition is in February, and starting in August each year, these students prepare and prepare and prepare. 7 subjects. They read a novel. They practice speech and English, and they prepare both a prepared speech and an impromptu speech.
improve their speech skills, and they practice essay writing. These guys, most of them are actually coming back next year, and they're already working on next year's material.
All right, well, congratulations.
Congratulations.
I'll have
Thank you.
to call them up, and
Okay.
I'll give it to them, and
Okay, so also, I think you guys should turn around to our parents. So I think that's better. All right, Lee Aguilar. Javier Valencia. Luis Gonzalez Urbano. Shelby Ernst. Simon Diaz Ordaz. And Xavier Rancho. Thank you.
thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Kevin. Yes.
Yep. It's now Principal Richter. Alrighty, so moving on to the general public comment period. I'd like to state that the meeting is recorded. Individuals addressing the board are asked to fill out a speaker card located in the back of the room. Complete a blue card to speak to an item not on the agenda, and a yellow card to speak to an item on the agenda. Please return the card to the Administrative Secretary of the Governing Board. Individuals addressing the board shall be limited to 3 minutes each, with no more than 20 minutes per topic. During this portion of the agenda, the public is invited to comment on items which are not on the agenda, but are within the subject matter jurisdiction of the Board of Trustees. The board will take no action at this time, but may refer the issue for further consideration. Individuals who wish to comment on agenda items shall be provided an opportunity to comment after the staff report and before the board's consideration of that item. Individuals who cannot wait to address the board when the agenda item is addressed may make their comments at this time. I'd like to call Owen Reed.
Hello, members of the board. I'm Owen Reed, and I'm a member of the Atwater High Aquatics program. For this past school year, we have had construction for a new pool, which meant for water polo season and swim season, we had to share facilities with other schools. We would like to thank the district and the board for prioritizing the construction of the new pool at Atwater High, and we knew during this process we would have some hardships to overcome. Throughout the last half of this school year, we had heard the pool would be done by the end of the school year, and we would have our own pool this summer. During swim season, we heard there were some delays in the construction, and the pool was expected to be finished by the beginning of the school year in August. During this last week of school, I was told that now there are more delays, and the pool wouldn't be done until September. I'm concerned that we're going to start our water polo season and still not have a pool. And I'm confused why it has taken a year to build this pool. I walk by the construction site every day, eager to see progress. And each day it seems like there are only a few people working on it and not much getting done. I have asked the district and the board to take a look at the project and make sure the contractor understands how important it is to complete the pool for the aquatics program at Atwater High. Once you have a chance to look into this, I would appreciate it if I could get an update on the project. Please feel free to contact me. Thank you.
Okay. And the next speaker card is from Jessica Reed.
Good evening. I'm Jessica Reed, the parent of Owen Reed. I came here tonight to begin just to support my son and what he wanted to say regarding the completion of the Atwater High School pool. But upon doing some research on my own on the topic, I had a few concerns about the project and how long it's taking. The school board approved a bid for the contract during a special meeting on May 16, 2023. Which was for $18 million for both the Atwater and high school pools. The only information that I have been able to find was the bids. There were no contracts or project plans attached to anything that I've researched and looked through the board agendas from the past. I was looking for the contract so I could see what the timelines and performance guarantees were set for the contractor. The project has had numerous delays, which has extended the project. My son and the water polo team, like he said, have been looking forward to their own pool facilities to practice and use. And he was just told last week that it wouldn't be completed until September, which is demoralizing for the team. And they want their pool. They want to be able to swim and practice there. I have driven by the school this past week, and I only saw 3 people working on the project. This doesn't show to me or my son or the team that a sense of urgency to complete the project is on hand. School is out, which creates less of a distraction. So if there's so much of the project to complete, why aren't there more people working on the project? The situation makes it hard for both Atwater and MUHAC water polo teams due to having to share the pool. They have to share practice times that are available. I'm not here to cast any blame or anything. We're so happy that Atwater's getting a new pool. It's much needed, especially since they had a lot of breakdowns and stuff over the past year, or his freshman year. He's going to be a junior. I'm just looking for some information. So if anyone could please contact me with information, I look forward to hearing about any information, seeing the project plans, and I thank you for your time.
Alrighty, Daniel and Ashley? Oh, Daniel first? Okay, I'll both together.
My name is Daniel, and I'm a member at Youth Leadership Institute here in Merced.
My name is Ashley Gutierrez, and I'm also a program manager with Youth Leadership Institute.
We would like to request to see if it's possible for us to speak on doing lifting for Merced High School Fall Games, and specifically in September since it's Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. I manage a youth suicide prevention program called Water Sacred, which is part of the statewide program called Really Better. That was launched in March 2024, which is an initiative funded by the Department of Public Health. We would like to talk about the campaign and the resources that the Department do that for the lifting games as well to table.
So I want to partake in this at your guys' school will be beneficial since our new Youth Wellness Center will be opening in downtown Merced. I'm the program manager for that center. And so that will open up on September 1st, 2024. And it will be hand in hand with Suicide Prevention Month in September. So we have with those wellness center, so we have a space for marginalized and disadvantaged youth who do not have the resources for mental health access. Our funding for this project was given by the Behavioral Health and Recovery Services. So it's a partnership, and we're also partnering with 6 different organizations within Merced County to offer MUHSD services. And part of that partnership is to go out to the high schools to advocate for the youth, and we're hoping to do that with the Suicide Prevention Month in September.
Also, we have healing and cultural workshop in Colorado, which is working to obtain funding for Merced to sustain the wellness center that are currently respectable. Another for the community corporate is a better program focus on youth leadership economy that works on giving youth knowledge and skills on policy and advocacy. We have the youth research creating a youth mental health survey to identify mental health needs and experiences of our sub-county youth. That can be and better over responses to support the policy recognition for those supervisors. So that concludes our comment.
Okay. All right, next item on the agenda, reports and discussion.
Good evening, board members, cabinet, and guests. Tonight, I'm here to share on superintendent goals. I just kind of wanted to remind everyone that our vision is that every student will walk off the graduation stage with a diploma in one hand and CTE certification in the other, along with college credit on their transcript. We keep that in mind when we create our goals. I've used on the slides green, yellow, and red circles with check marks in them to kind of indicate where we are at on each of the goals. You'll see that most of our second year goals, the ones that this is our second year doing them, are completed, although we will still maintain them throughout the year, and then a lot of our first year goals still have a ways to go. I always do this backwards. There we go. So we have our special ed goal, and developing the learning skills curriculum that has been completed. All of the special ed goal has green check marks. The next step there is that there's going to be some summer work done to refine the lessons for the development of the learning skills curriculum. For the co-teacher implementation, we worked on some coaching this year in that model, and we're going to continue the coaching next year. We had a goal in that part of 65% of students with disabilities will be in general education classes 80% of the time or more, and we actually had 76% of our students in regular ed classes 80% of the time. So we exceeded that. Also kind of on that same idea, last year 43% of our students received all of their services. Most of them didn't because of chronic absence or removal from class for suspension, and this year we improved that to 62% receiving their services all the time. For our SDC lesson planning, they have created those lessons, and we've gotten some more consistent curriculum with them, and so the next step there is to monitor the referrals, and hopefully that having a well-planned lesson will help reduce those referrals. And then we wanted to develop a common understanding of language surrounding case management and implementation of IEPs. That's also been all of our current teachers have received that training, and so our next step will be to train new staff. On our English goal, like I said, this is the second year of that goal, and they're working on the benchmarks, the local assessments, and so they completed all of those. They gave those local assessments third and fourth quarter. So our next step is to give the first and second quarter assessments, and then to focus on completion percentages. We were close to the 95% completion rate, but didn't quite reach that at all of our sites. And then for our Read 180 goal, our next step there is really to move from pilot to implementation because we've been in that kind of pilot stage. For this year, our students who were in Read 180 and System 44, which is another version of Read 180, their average growth was 75 points on Lexile. The range for the sites ranged from 0 to 136 points, so the average was 75, but we did see individual growth. It's hard on that one to quantify it for you because every student has a different growth goal. So if they're coming to us with a higher reading level but they still need Read 180, their growth goal is going to be very small. But if they come to us with a lower reading level, their growth goal is going to be very big. So it's really hard to quantify that in an average for you. But our students did show growth in Read 180. Oops.
Could I ask a question?
Yep.
Is that all the grades? Or is this incoming students?
Read 180 are 9th grade students, and we have a few 10th grade students in there too. Yeah, we have a class at each site with some 10th grade students.
Is there a reason why you wouldn't be at 100% completion? If it's just, it's completion, it doesn't indicate any type of performance level, right?
Yeah, absences, tracking kids down, there's just a variety of things that, yeah.
How many total number of students are we talking about?
For the Read 180 goals? I don't have that number.
That's between all the comp sites.
All the comp sites, yeah. I had it on my chart and I don't remember what it was. I can get it for you though. Any other questions on that one?
No.
Okay. So then our instruction goal for this year, this is the first year of the goal for depth of knowledge. We're looking to increase deeper learning in our classrooms and rigor. So we worked this spring on all of the professional developments. So that's that second one with the yellow check mark. What
our instructional coaches and our induction mentors did a fantastic job creating all of those PDs. What we have is a 1 hour PD that the sites will deliver in their startup meetings in August. Then there's a 3 hour PD that they're going to do a pull out with all teachers so that everybody has a common understanding of deeper learning and DOK and what the expectations are. There's also an admin PD that all administrators will go through in August, and then the administrators will also be calibrating in classrooms with their instructional coach based on all of that information. So we've really set a good foundation to be able to train everybody so they hear a consistent message about deeper learning and DOK. And that's why the first one is a red check mark, because we haven't implemented that to be able to go out to classrooms yet and observe it, so that's the next step there. On our social studies goal, again, this is a first-year goal. The first one with the yellow check mark is our freshman seminar on our health classes. We had teachers come in, and they worked on having a consistent curriculum again. Our freshman seminar semester, they've created new curriculum guides for that. They have a Canvas course with all of the resources in it. So the next step is just to train all of the teachers, because they just had a representative come from each site. And then also they need to complete the health curriculum. And we've actually contracted with Canvas to help us with the health curriculum. They're going to take all the health standards and create some resources for us. We're also going to be putting the Character Strong curriculum into our freshman seminar, and so the teachers are going to be trained on that also.
When you say it's on Canvas, is that just the resources for the teacher, or are the students actually completing the coursework online?
Just the resources for the teacher on Canvas. It might link out, there are some programs we're using for different parts of it, so it would link out to that, but the Canvas is a shell for teachers. Yeah. And lastly, our Grow Your Own goal. This is the one where we're looking to create opportunities for staff and students to pursue careers in our district. I'm super excited that kind of at the last minute we had an opportunity with MUHSD County Workforce Development. They gave us a grant to hire kids for the summer to do internships and job shadows. So we have 124 kids who are getting to do a paid internship in different positions in our district. All of our sites have students. Communications, transportation, IT, warehouse, M&O, and nutrition all have kids out working this summer and getting paid for it through the partnership with MUHSD County Workforce. So we're very excited about that. We also, for our staff, this year we worked on leadership opportunities for them. Mr. Sweatwood was here earlier. He put on an aspiring administrator workshop, or really an aspiring leadership workshop. They had several series for staff to come to. And then we worked on cabinet, worked with people who wanted to be principals someday, and we had a Future Principals Academy that we went through this year with them. So we're trying to work on growing our current staff also. I did want to share one more thing with you. That's not one of our superintendent goals, but something that we started this year is a project called MUHSD 2030. We're really trying to look ahead at what schools are going to be like in 2030. It sounds like a number that's far away, but it's really close. So this year we kind of laid the groundwork for it. There's a small group, the executive committee, who kind of worked on how it was going to look and what resources and finding research out there about it, and then we expanded in the spring to a larger group. So what we did this year was we surveyed stakeholders. So of course, educators, we all think we know what it's going to be like, but we don't always know. So then we did empathy interviews with students, so that we got the students' version of what they wanted and what they thought school should be like for the future. And then we also got input from our industry partners. At one of our CTE days, we had them look at our graduate profiles and our maxims and give us feedback on the skills that they thought our students would need to come work for them. We also conducted some research, just kind of research on our own, but then we also all wrote a book, Future Skills, that identified 25 skills that people will need in the future. We developed strategies, and they broke up into work groups, and they created deliverables. And those different deliverables were around these areas. Just because of the size of the group, this is what we went off of this year. They each presented on and gave a deliverable. There was college readiness on CTE, instruction and curriculum, labor trends, SEL and technology,
people were working on all of those. And I did link it to the slide. You don't have to show it, Miguel, but if you wanted to look at the different deliverables, you could. So next year, we'll kind of start with those projects, but then also think like, okay, that's looking at our current system and how we can improve our current system, but what is beyond our current system that we haven't even thought about? So next year, we'll have more of a foundation to really like trying that innovation switch to start looking at what does the future look like. And then we'll work on those areas and what we think that's going to look like. We'll use improvement science, and that's the plan to study act there, where we actually try some of those ideas out in classrooms in our district to get an idea on what's going to work. 2030 is going to be here quickly, but we also have time before it gets here to do a good job preparing for it. So I wanted to share that tonight.
Question on the stakeholders. Other than the students and the empathy interviews, who were the stakeholders who were surveyed?
So as educators, the teachers, the students, and our industry partners.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so next on to the employee associations. Oh, sorry, I don't have an. Sorry, Viviana. Where is your?
Good evening, Cabinet.
Oh, sorry, Viviana.
It's okay. Good evening, Cabinet and board members. I'm going to give you guys a school year overview of the Communications Department, some of the projects we're working on, goals, a few numbers, and plans for my department. So this school year we worked on district and school site logo rebranding. Our logo was not very friendly for digital media, website use, social media use. Also, we were going to do a lot of, I worked with HR to do a lot of teacher recruitment, employee recruitment, so it was something that really stood out compared from bottom out to table. And we worked on this new logo, and we really liked it. We kept the same design and everything. It was just the font that updated the logos and graphics, and it's really cohesive. And then we did our CTE logo, and we also have two variations. So all these logos you see up in here have variations of it for different uses. So a lot of the issues we were having with people would reach out to like, hey, do we have any horizontal? One that's more friendly for polos and t-shirts. So my two projects I'm really proud of are some of the higher independence high levels. I worked with Principal Rose to get this updated, and we're just so happy with the results. And the students loved the new updated logo, so it was great to hear that feedback. And the purpose behind that was just for brand identity when we're out and marketing what our school district does, and also for school sites and for school pride and engagement, and with our educational partners, it's just easy to understand and glance and understand what our vision and mission are. So, next slide. So, another thing that we focused on was collaborative posts to increase exposure and community engagement. This is just like a few screenshots from Facebook. So posts can reach up to 14,000 people. Post engagement means like they interact with the post. So then they click on it, they share it, they comment, they share it. Also in addition to that, that's 11,819 people. And then usually from that post you get up to like 44 to 100 more followers on Facebook. So Facebook is constantly growing just because we're really appreciative for the media partners like ABC Brandon, Merced Sensor, Merced County Times, or Central Valley Reporters. So this is what really happens when we have headline news stories, and it just brings in new people to see what our district is about. If you look on the right-hand side, on the top it says channel analytics. That is from YouTube. So you can see within the school year we had 56,822 views. Our analytics are doing pretty well. It's now we have about 1,000 subscribers or so, but we started off probably 2 years ago with 500. So the average view is about 287 views per video. But we have a new strategy for next year to hopefully average at least 500 views. And a lot of it has been to embedding videos into Parent Square, so parents just can see it on their phone, like click on it, and it's very easy. Parents are not confused what type of video it is, and putting more, if you click on to the next slide, more interactive videos. So if you go to our Instagram, so this is our Instagram on the left-hand side, you can see that it's again with the branding, the little icons on the bottom say MUHSD, so people know exactly what page they have branded on. We have college and career opportunities, slogan, how many students we have, our graduation rate, and for me, I decided to change the MUHSD just because there's a lot of our accounts, so it just makes it very obvious if somebody is not familiar with this that they have an account. And if you look to the left, you can see how many views we get per video. Most popular videos are CTE videos, which I'm really happy about because it gets a lot of exposure to students of what CTE looks like, maybe for construction trades, or maybe for, again, we had the fire department visit, so students got to see how that looked like. The top is our said high school fashion show. I had a lot of students take me, but they really appreciated how I showcased all the different types of clothing that were showcased, our beauty program, as well our Cooper's Closet and nutrition services. We collaborated with Sprouts with Merced. They donated a basket to all librarians, and there was a collaborative social media post where the store manager donated the baskets, and then we brought them to each librarian. So also working with the community and showcasing that, and also when we do employee recognition, I worked with Christy for the Council of the Quarter, and we have worked with Brett just to highlight on special occasions, Teacher Appreciation Day and things like that. So we're making sure that we're highlighting everyone, and everybody's being showcased. We're doing a cultural event, and just highlighting each school site. And what has helped is that now on Instagram we can collaborate. So if we're posting in the district and it's a Merced High School event, Merced High School can accept the collaboration, and it shows up on the page. So make sure that if mom and dad or grandma, grandpa, grandparents, or students don't follow this, they see it as a collaborative post and still able to see that content. And as you can see, there's more analytics on the side, online engagement, and reach per post. So we're doing really well. Like you can see that on the top, it was like a post of 15,000, engagement 1,000. And a lot of this, when we're going to where people are at, it's usually Merced. So it's nice to know that it's local people that are actually looking at the content. It's not like somebody in the world in New York that's looking at this. So I'm really proud that we're able to reach that level of engagement this year. Next slide. The continuation of the two-way communication plan. We have done a thought exchange for the LCAP, and I have helped Jeanette administer that. And then at the end of the school year, I will submitted that exchange to students and to parents to give feedback on my department and also their school site on communications, what could be done better, or if they had any comments, and we had to fill out 9 questions, and then I'm going to provide that feedback per site. So there's some particular feedback from each site, also for my department, but I really appreciate that exchange. I can just share those results with principals so the admin team will be able to look at that and we can discuss that. Next slide. So we did for the LCAP, there were 744 participants with over 8,000 ratings. 8,000 ratings means that after the participant submitted their feedback or their comment and did the LCAP survey, they went and looked through everybody else's and were rating other people's thoughts. So they were actually engaging. So the students and parents, that's kind of like the overall summary of those two. So I hope I'll share results of the survey with you guys. I can probably send it to us and share with you what parents and students had to say about our communications department. And then we had coffee with the superintendent. We did 4 live streams. We had over about 90 questions submitted, and in total we had 562 views during that live stream. So in total, that's how many views were done, and this was just to create a direct line of communication, or just don't know who to ask those questions to, so we did that. And the next slide. And then the minute survey. So I do release almost every Friday of the school I have released an MUHSD minutes, and I have attached a survey onto the parents' board to staff every time we send it out that they can give me feedback on the survey, because sometimes I might think the video is amazing. People understand what I'm communicating when I use, and if parents have feedback from their students, staff. So it's been very helpful to get feedback, and there's some people that give me really good constructive feedback, so I have taken that into account. And there was a change on how I displayed bananas and changed the look of it, and the titles and things like that, and what's being showcased. And training people for the survey this year to provide feedback. But there was really constructive feedback in those surveys. They were giving me feedback on the audio or the visual, or telling me could it be shorter, things like that. So the common thing for parents and staff was to have a written option attached to also the video. So that was a common thing. So if you click to the next slide. So then I was that's awesome, I can do that. And that actually increased the views on the minutes, but also of how many people I can actually see who opens the emails when I send this out. So if people are reading it, I can see where, if it's on a phone, on a desktop, where people are viewing it. And also what's really helpful is that I can break it down to the table of contents like this. So if somebody's really interested, like a teacher that knows that I have showcased their students, they can jump right in there and showcase it to their students and share that as well. But I also did it too because they can share it with grandma and grandpa, they can share it with me, anything, anybody they like, and they can subscribe to the newsletter. So that's really great for community when we share this, that they can actually subscribe. So anytime I send them out, they will be added to the list, and they can get this information. They don't have to be subscribed to our social media channel or anything. It's really easy. So it's just an easy way for us, our community partners. They can send us out to the media as well. So if they like any of the stories showcased on here, they can reach out to me. And we do have about, it started off of 250 views to 1,000 over, I think the last one I sent out was almost 1,000 views. So that's really great of an increase of people reading what's going on in our school district. Next slide. And also, sometimes I do small YouTube CTE videos, like this one showcasing our business and finance CTE program, and a little description so they know what the video is about. But sometimes these videos only get 30 views, so it's helpful that I can include them also on there, and parents can view that as well when about these programs. Next. And then, as you can see, this is how I change. So YouTube usually grabs a video, kind of any screen moment of the video, and uses it as your header. But now I make these graphics that helps, it'll hopefully encourage students to click on that, and they see a friend or a familiar face or parents. It just puts a face to the news that we're showcasing, so people are kind of aware of what we're showcasing. And I really like this idea. I know a lot of kids watch YouTube, so this is kind of something similar that I might be used to visually. So that was a major change that I did as well. And also everything is subtitled in English and Spanish. So that was one other component I worked on. Next. And then lastly, we are going to become a parent school district in terms of our websites, and the way our phone communication is all parent square. So this is just kind of a screenshot of what you can expect of the new websites. They're easier on the eye on what's going on with our current websites. As you can see, we have those 6 icons that are up below, versus if you look at our current website, it's a little bit tricky. You have to scroll. I noticed that parents say if it's not on the homepage, I'm not going to look for it. So everything's getting better as they open that homepage. Even on their cell phone, they're able to see those important icons. Those can be changed at any time. So if I ever get feedback and say maybe there's no need for those icons to be on there, that can be changed. But the purpose of that too is that a lot of our parents get their communications from Parent Square. So this encourages them to log in, to use it, to download the app, and making sure that the way we communicate through text messaging, website, and everything is one thing, and there's no barrier for parents, and they understand that it's all connected. So we have some keep them engaged and know what's going on with their school site. And that's it. Any questions?
I do appreciate all the information, though, because I see information from all the schools, and it's fun to see every club is showcased. Thank you for making sure that all activities are showcased.
Thank you.
For Facebook and Instagram, how many followers are in each? I mean, I saw.
So we have over 3,500 on Facebook, and we have 2,610 on Instagram right now.
And this is mostly parent, right?
So the demographic on Instagram is mostly students. We have a few parents, and then the demographic on Facebook is staff and parents and grandparents and community members.
And I know you have YouTube as well, but any other social media, Twitter?
Yes, so we use Twitter. So TikTok, I would need to consult with probably our lawyers would be the best, just because Facebook and Twitter, there's a lot of restrictions, a lot of things that keep us safe and students safe as well, versus TikTok. I have talked to other school districts that use it, so it would be, I am going to do some professional development during the summer, so I do plan to get more information just because some school sites do use it already, but the district is like there's too many social media platforms, and if the school sites are really using it, like I know LCAP uses it for the activities, but the purpose is just for activities to promote student engagement, but do we need it as a school district? So that would be the question. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be more students, TikTok. But,
yes, but I do make videos on TikTok and download it and post it on Instagram. So whatever audio is trending, I still use, or the format of editing is still similar. And I actually have some LCAP students help me make a video for the Virginia Smith Trust film, and we had so much fun making it, but we recorded it on TikTok and just downloaded it and uploaded it to Instagram and Facebook.
Well, it looks like you're doing a great job, but for like getting more followers on social media, is there a plan for that, or?
Yeah, so right now, thanks to my student interns, today they actually are gathering each post like on our account has its own engagement on there. So they're documenting all that, and then we're going to do some analytics and like see what posts have gained the most engagement or followers, because each post tells you gain 2 followers from this post, you gain 3 followers from this post. So we're going to see what posts are willing to continue making content like that, and then what content is not doing as well. A lot of it is people get us confused with the district account and Merced City School District and Merced County of Ed. So that's why I made sure that the branding is really unique on what they see on there, but also collaborating with CHP. We do collaboration posts also with, I know for the CTE Build Design competition, we partnered with them, and it's the post shows up on their page as well, so then we get more followers that way as well.
Is that CHP?
California Highway Patrol.
Oh, I did see that, okay.
Yes. So, thanks to Senior Seminar, we come and visit our students, and we do a lot of, like, why they shouldn't drink and drive, and we do a lot of the testing with the goggles or something, because they just do presentations on that career. So, when they take photos or video, they invite us to collaborate on that post, which I really appreciate the media team doing that. So, again, it brings more people and more traction to our page.
Well, it sounds like you're doing a great job, like I said earlier. I'm glad to see you presenting it. I've always seen you behind the scenes taking pictures, but I haven't seen you
yes.
giving us this demonstration or presentation.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I just want to say I appreciate you always reflecting and seeing what can be done to make it better. And capture more followers, always keeping it, fresh, and alive. So thank you for that. And I do appreciate your presentation as well. It's nice to see what various departments are doing.
Yes.
And I can probably provide you my strategy plan later of what we plan to do, but I'm still cooking that up this summer. Thank you.
It's me. I forgot. All right, so next up we have our Employee Association's comment period. Are there any comments from the CSCA? Okay. Any comments from DTA? All right. Looks like there's nobody today. So moving on to the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Trustee Pickle, would you like to acknowledge the donations?
Sure. I'd like to thank the following for their donations. Castle Family Health Centers, William Levi Dukes, Gloria Gonzalez, Atwater Rotary Foundation, Roman and Jonathan Fitchett, Christine and Mike Miner, Merced Garden Club, Evanston United Methodist Church, Michael Bick, Lauren Bartel, DOT Foods, U.S. Army Special Forces Association, Chapter 23, Alita Lauren Bartel, MHS Class of 1976, Merced Women's Club, Cindy Ramirez, and Merced High School Class of 1972. Thank you for your donations.
Okay, are there any questions on the consent agenda? Yeah, if there are no questions, we'll call for the vote. I'm an aye too. Okay. Oh. Says- Okay, thank you. Motion passes 3-0. All right, moving on to the action agenda. We have the salary schedule approvals for 24-25.
Good evening. We're here tonight seeking approval for the salary schedules for 2024-2025. All schedules have been updated to reflect COLA for next year. The COLA is set to be at 1.07. So all the salary schedules are there and attached. And the superintendent recommends the Board of Trustees approve the salary schedules for 24-25 school year.
Is there a motion to approve? Oh. Is that, that's what nothing else. Okay. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion to approve.
Are there any further questions? Okay, call for the vote. I'm an aye too.
Aye.
The motion passes 3-0. Moving on to the report for the local indicator results and approval of local control accountability plan. Mrs. Ballinger?
Yeah, it's an action item tonight. The Local Control Accountability Plan, or the LCAP, describes the goals, actions, services, metrics, and expenditures to support positive student outcomes that address state and local priorities. The LCAP provides an opportunity for local educational agencies to share their stories of how, what, and why programs and services are selected to meet their local needs. MUHSD has included all educational partners in the creation of the 24-25 LCAP. MUHSD is also to report the local indicator results at the same public meeting of the local governing board at which the LCAP is adopted. Mrs. McCauley shared those local indicator results in the report last week, and we've included an attachment to this item for the same information. The MUHSD Board of Trustees approve the Local Control Accountability Plan for the 2024-2025 school year.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second? Are there any further questions? None from me either. Well, okay, call for the vote.
I'm an aye.
too. Okay, motion passes 3-0. Moving on to the proposed 2024-25 budget. Dr. Weimer?
In accordance with Education Code 42127A2, school district shall adopt a budget on or before July 1st of each year. The presentation was presided as a report at the last meeting, along with a public hearing. This is the second presentation of this. There are no changes from any of the budget information that was presented last week. The superintendent recommends that the board adopt the 24-25 budget and positive certification.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion to approve.
Is there a second? Second. And are there any further questions? Okay, we will call for a vote. And I am an aye.
I'm an aye.
Okay, motion passes 3-0. Next up is the education protection account and public hearing. Dr. Weimer?
One of the requirements when Proposition 30 was passed by the voters in November 6, 2012, was adding Article 13, Section 36 to the Constitution, creating the General Fund and Education Protection Account, EPA. Was to have a public hearing. Another requirement of the EPA, is to have a resolution adopted. Basically what it does is there's a calculation formula that is made, and we have to pass a resolution that we will spend the funds the way that they are supposed to be spent under the EPA, which is for use in instruction. We spend all of the money on teacher salaries so that we know that it is instruction related, and we spend the $43,484,319 in that manner. Superintendent recommends the Board of Trustees adopt Resolution 16-23 for the Education Protection Account and conduct a public hearing.
This is Jayasina. I'm not sure that I put on your notice to open a public hearing, so you just need to open it for comments and
Oh, okay. Is that before we call for the vote?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Is there a motion to approve? Oh,
Do the public hearing first.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Just open it for comments.
Okay, I'm opening it for comments. Okay, looks like there are no comments. In that case, is there a motion to approve?
Is it closed then, so we can
Oh,
make
is
the
it?
motion?
Oh.
Yeah, okay. I'll make the motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Are there any further questions? Okay, call for the vote.
I'm an aye.
I'm an aye too. Okay. Did the vote? Oh,
I mean, my
yes, yes,
did my vote good?
yes, it did, it did.
Yeah, you told me.
The vote.
So I marked it. Didn't you say I'm an aye? Sorry, would you like me to change?
No, it's good.
Oh,
I voted on here.
Okay, the vote passes 3-0. Really quickly, if we had to open the other items for public comment as well, or the LCAP, or
Only if
just,
they say there's a public hearing required.
oh, okay.
So on the item 1307, that also will have a public hearing that you'll open after Mrs. Miller is done with hers.
Okay, so 1307. But no, so
We're on 13.
we're now on 1304. Oh, yeah, and then 1305, but no public comment until 1307. Okay, thank you. Alrighty then. Moving on to 1305, notice of election. Dr. Weimer?
3 trustee areas are up for election on November 5th, 2024. The areas are trustee area number 3, trustee area number 4. In addition, trustee area number 5 is up for re-election for a 2-year term due to his provisional appointment in September of 2023. In order for these seats to be included on the ballot, state law requires a notice of consolidation election and the appropriate resolution to be approved by the board. These resolutions set forth the authority for ordering the election and occur prior to each election. The superintendent recommends the board authorize the signing of the notice of election, certification of the trustee area maps, adoption of resolution number 14-23, selection in case of tie vote, and resolution number 15-23, order of election. Ties are selected by lot.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve?
Yes, you draw lots.
I'll make the motion to approve.
Is there a second? Second. Are there any further questions? Then we'll call for a vote.
I'm an aye.
I'm an aye too. All right, the motion passes 3-0. Moving on to 1306, Food and Nutrition Food Product Award. Dr. Weimer.
Procurement is a multi-step process of acquiring the best possible food, supply, equipment, and services at the lowest possible price. All purchases, whether funded wholly or in part with the school nutrition program funds, must be conducted according to Title VII Code of Federal Regulations and California State Public Contract Code procurement requirements. Those took place recently, and the results for those are listed here for you, and the superintendent recommends the board award the food product bids as submitted. This basically awards who the vendor is for each category, and then as we order throughout the year, the prices are set by this contract.
Okay, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second? Are there any further questions? Okay, call for a vote. I am an aye, Ms. Robart.
I'm an aye.
Okay, moving on to 1307, Development Fee Study, Proposed Fee Increase and Public Hearing. Ms. Miller.
Good evening. I'm here to recommend the board approve the 2024 Developer Justification Fee Study for Merced Union High School District. Based on the average new single-family house size of 1,828 square feet, a fee of $2.58 per square foot is justified for high school facility needs alone. The maximum level 1 fees authorized by the state are $5.17 per square foot for residential development and 84 cents per square foot for commercial industrial development, of which 2/3 goes to the appropriate elementary school district. The study justifies the district's share of the fee of $1.72 per square foot for residential development and 28 cents per square foot for commercial industrial development. Based on this information, or the study, this would be an increase from $4.79 to $5.17 for residential, and then 78 cents to 84 cents for commercial industrial. The public was notified of a public hearing on the proposed fee increase in the Merced Sun-Star newspaper on May 28th and June 2nd, 2024. Development fees collected for the school facilities are used to fund and acquire portable classrooms, plan future school improvements, build and renovate classrooms and other school facilities, and otherwise enhance the ability of schools to accommodate students from new development projects. The superintendent recommends the board conduct a public hearing and adopt resolution 12-23. And then following that, approving the development justification
education fee study and adopt resolution 13-23, increasing the level 1 developer fees.
Do we have any public discussion?
Actually say open the public hearing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
What do I say exactly?
open the public hearing
Oh.
at such and such a time.
Okay.
And then close.
I open the public hearing at 6:40 p.m. Do we have anyone online? No. Okay. Oh, okay. And I close the public hearing at 6:40 p.m. Yes. Is there a motion to approve?
I have a question before. Sure. So this is a proposed increase. What if the increase is not made? The increase would remain the same at $4.79 per square foot, and then also, and then and I say that because that's a whole total that we share also with other school districts. So 2/3 of that amount does go to elementary school district, the corresponding elementary school district in our area. So then that delineates or eliminates us from sharing that amount, and we return to the same.
Not adopting the maximum amount allowed by the state also puts at risk our ability to get matching bonds and matching funds. If you're not getting the maximum that is allowed, then that counts against you when you ask for state matching money.
Because you're not going to get the match. Basically, you'll still get some money. You just don't get the matching fund.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll make the motion. Was there any other questions? Okay. I'll make the motion to approve.
I'm sorry, did you have a question? I said no.
Second.
Okay. Call for a vote. Are there any further questions? Call for the vote.
I'm an aye.
Okay. I'm an aye, yes. Okay, motion passes 3-0.
Thank you.
So moving on to the superintendent's report.
Thank you, and just want to say that this has been an outstanding year. As you have seen, we've made good movement on all of our superintendent goals. Yesterday I was asked what I was most proud of by our 50 or 60 management staff in the room. What I'm most proud of this year is we institutionalized MTSS, and it's making a difference. You all know what we have invested there financially with positions. This district traditionally has expelled 100 students a year in and year out. This year there was a decrease of 60%, right around 40. Suspensions were down over 60% also at all sites. All of our sites have done a good job with this. And it's not just the numbers, it's the fact that you're able to dig in and supply the intervention to help students change their behavior while keeping the culture strong at a school site, and we're not, we don't get complaints about discipline. That's the holy grail, okay? And I think we're doing an excellent job on that. LCAP has led the way with 0 suspensions and expulsions. And Mrs. Cope and her staff, Mr. and Mrs. Johnson, will be presenting at the Model Schools Conference later this month. LCAP was chosen along with 15 other schools nationwide. So 16 schools were chosen nationwide to present at this conference, so it's quite the honor. Other things I'm proud of, we have facility projects going on all over the place. Melissa, thank you for all of your efforts there. Most recently, we had the groundbreaking at MUHSD Colony and El Cap. Exciting for those sites. Both of those sites have had to wait a few years as other sites have been building away. So personally, I'm very proud of the Salute to Service luncheon. That was absolutely wonderful, far exceeded my expectations. We received many, many compliments. The student feedback this year at our superintendent and board lunches was thoughtful and fairly deep at many sites. I know I enjoy them, and I believe you do too. The major theme, nothing major really came about that I can point to. However, what was talked about at multiple sites was we have a hole we need to address with transfer students. Students that come into our district as sophomores or juniors, we just need a more thorough orientation process that we need to add to kind of our administrative and counseling expectations, which we will do. Thank you, Mrs. Ballinger and your Ed Services team for the progress on the superintendent goals. Viviana, thank you for your communications this year. You have done an absolutely outstanding job. And I thank everybody for a great year. Have a restful summer.
Okay, moving on to board communications. Trustee Pickle, would you like to go first?
Yes, thank you. I just wanted to speak to the Reed's comment about the program. I know we've had some delays, but what is being done to push the contractors as much as we can so that we can complete as close to the timeline as possible?
Yeah, in a perfect world, there's never some on-site conditions that cause a project to be delayed, and this was not a perfect world either. So that certainly occurred. Weather was a challenge this year. It seemed like just on the money, it would be dry enough to start working on, and we'd get another downpour that would further delay. I know that the contractors have been asked to produce a new, what is it called, Melissa? Critical path schedule, and they will be providing that soon. I don't think they want to be on the job any longer than they need to, and I think they are pushing, but when we talk about that critical path timeline, there are things that have to happen before they can see all of the activity. They can't just pile on top of each other because certain things need to get done.
When will they have that?
They should have that within the next week, actually.
Okay. So then we'll get an update on that.
We'll get an update too on the pulse by one of my colleagues here.
We'll follow up. We'll follow up with Mrs. Reed also.
Okay. I just want to make sure that we're doing as much as we can to ensure they're not losing 3 seasons, because I know our goal was that they'd be out 2 seasons. So, thank you. And that's all I have. Other than thank you for a great year. Hope everyone gets some time off. And I know Mr. Caldwell will be on his permanent vacation, so.
Trustee Valdez?
As always, thank you all for what you do and what you've done this year to make it great. So that's pretty much it. Have a great summer. I hope that everyone will get some time off. Good night.
And I'd like to echo my fellow trustees and thank everyone for a wonderful year. Everyone have a great summer, and we'll see you next school year. Oh, I have to.
Thank you.
Congrats again, Mr. Calderon.
It's 6:49. I hereby adjourn the meeting.
Mr. Calderon, are you going to take your nameplate with you?